Ladies and gentlemen, do your legs feel heavier than they used to? Does a simple climb up the stairs feel like a mountain hike? You're not alone. But here's the truth, you are not powerless. Every step you take is controlled by an orchestra of nerves, muscles, and micronutrients. And when one piece is missing, strength fades. But today, we're taking that power back. 3 essential vitamins, vitamin D3, vitamin B12, and magnesium, aren't just nutrients. They're neurochemical ignition switches. They rebuild. They recharge. They reawaken muscle fibers that have grown dormant over decades. Let's break this down. Vitamin D3 doesn't just help your bones. It activates fast twitch muscle fibers, the kind responsible for strength, balance, and reaction time. Low D3, you're more likely to fall. Optimal D3, you're more likely to rise. A vitamin, B12, is like electricity for your nervous system. When your nerves can't fire rapidly, your legs don't respond in time. Restoring B12 is like plugging your power cord back in. And then there's magnesium, dog. It regulates over 300 enzymes, many of which fuel muscle contractions and recovery. Without magnesium, your muscles cramp, tire fast, and refuse to grow. Now imagining it's not just about walking with ease, it's about reclaiming the confidence to move freely, to travel again, to dance again, to live again. These aren't miracle pills, they're micronutrient tools. Tools your body is crying out for. And when you give your biology what it needs, your biology will give you back strength. The science is clear, even after 60, your body retains the power to grow, adapt, and rebuild. That's called neuroplasticity. And it doesn't expire with age, but it only works if you act. So ask yourself, will I let time steal what I still have left? Or will I rise, rebuild, and walk forward with strength, balance, and purpose? The choice is yours, and strength is waiting. Every morning, your body wakes up searching for signals, chemical cues that determine whether you'll feel tired or energized, strong or sluggish, hopeful or defeated. And right at the center of this invisible orchestra is dopamine, the molecule of motivation, momentum, and movement. As we age, the natural rhythms that triggers vital neurotransmitter begin to slow down. The once automatic spark that you out of bed with a spring in your step now needs intentional reignition. You might feel your legs hesitate, your willpower flicker, your drive dip. But what if I told you that within your grasp today are tools to flip that switch back on? That your biology is wired to respond, not retreat, and that just a few targeted nutrients can begin a chain reaction that doesn't just lift your legs, but lifts your spirit. Dopamine isn't about chasing pleasure. It's about creating purpose. And when the body begins to feel strong again, the brain follows suit. When you nourish the systems responsible for initiating action, you don't just move. You move forward with direction, with clarity, with fire. The nervous system and muscular system work in complete synergy, and nutrients serve as the biochemical bridge that links intention with action. Without the proper balance of key vitamins and minerals, the signals that tell your muscles to contract, stabilize, and recover start to misfire or weaken altogether. Vitamin D3, for example, doesn't just assist with calcium absorption. It directly influences the expression of genes that regulate muscle fiber development, particularly the fast twitch fibers responsible for power and stability. This is especially vital for seniors whose risk of falls is tied to the decline in those fibers. Then there's vitamin B12, essential for the formation and maintenance of the myelin sheath, a fatty layer that insulates nerves and allows for rapid signal transmission. Without sufficient B12, motor signals slow, leading to delayed muscle responses, tremors, and weakness. Magnesium plays a more hidden but equally powerful role, helping transport calcium and potassium across cell membranes, which is necessary for muscle contractions and nerve impulses to function efficiently. Deficiency in magnesium doesn't just mean fatigue. It can lead to chronic cramps, twitching, and impaired balance. When these nutrients are consistently available to the body, synaptic efficiency improves, neuromuscular communication becomes sharper, and muscle fibers retain their elasticity and coordination. Nutrients don't just feed muscles. They reinforce the entire system that controls them, the brain's motor cortex to the tiny neuromuscular junctions that initiate every step, lift, and stretch. Hormones are the body's internal messengers, orchestrating everything from energy levels to tissue repair, and their signals are deeply influenced by micronutrient availability. As we age, the production and sensitivity of key hormones like testosterone, estrogen, growth hormone, and insulin like growth factor 1 IGF-1 begin to decline, leading to noticeable reductions in muscle mass, bone density, and physical stamina. Yet many of these declines are not simply the result of aging, but of cumulative micronutrient insufficiencies that disrupt hormonal cascades. Vitamin D3, for instance, acts as a prohormone and plays a critical role in regulating testosterone and immune signaling pathways. both of which affect muscle regeneration and endurance. Zinc and magnesium are cofactors in over 1,000 enzymatic reactions and are essential for hormone synthesis, particularly in supporting the hypothalamic pituitary gonadal axis, which governs anabolic and reproductive hormones. Vitamins like B6, B12, and folate contribute to methylation processes crucial for detoxification and hormone receptor function, enabling cells to respond effectively to hormonal cues. Furthermore, vitamin C and E help regulate cortisol, the body's stress hormone, whose chronic elevation can lead to muscle wasting and insulin resistance. These nutrients don't just support hormone levels. They help refine the entire endocrine feedback loop, enhancing sensitivity and timing of hormonal release. When nutrients are calibrated correctly, the endocrine system regains its rhythmic pulse, driving better sleep quality, protein synthesis, mitochondrial activity, and even the rate at which the body recovers from physical exertion. Hormonal signaling is not a passive background process. It's a dynamic, real-time response system that interprets nutrient status as a signal of where the body should build or break down, whether it should conserve or grow, whether it should adapt or decline. The body's internal clock, governed by the suprachiasmatic nucleus in the regulates a multitude of biological functions in alignment with the light-dark cycle of the day. This circadian rhythm is not only responsible for determining when we sleep or wake, but also governs hormone secretion, digestion, nutrient absorption, muscle recovery, and cellular repair. Aligning vitamin intake with these natural rhythms enhances their bioavailability and effectiveness, allowing nutrients to act in harmony with the body's peak times for metabolic function. For instance, taking vitamin D3 early in the morning aligns with the body's natural rise in cortisol and wakefulness, reinforcing the hormonal signals that promote alertness, immune activation, and calcium metabolism. Magnesium, in contrast, is best absorbed and most beneficial when taken in the evening, as it supports parasympathetic activity, muscle relaxation, and the onset of deep sleep, which is when the body undergoes its most critical repair processes. B-complex vitamins, essential for energy production and neurotransmitter synthesis, should be consumed earlier in the day to fuel mitochondrial activity and dopamine pathways without disrupting sleep patterns later on. E2E, even the gut microbiome, which influences nutrient absorption and immune health, operates on a circadian rhythm with different microbial species proliferating at specific times depending on feeding and fasting windows. Consuming nutrients at times when the digestive system is primed allows for more efficient enzymatic breakdown and cellular uptake, reducing oxidative stress and supporting optimal hormonal output. Melatonin, cortisol, insulin, and even leptin all fluctuate in 24-hour cycles, and when nutrient timing is aligned with these hormonal peaks and troughs, the entire neuroendocrine system responds with greater efficiency. This synchronization between micronutrient input and biological timing reinforces everything from muscular strength and coordination to metabolic health and cognitive clarity. Picture waking up and stepping out of bed only to feel your legs tremble beneath you, not from overexertion, but from a loss of power that crept in over the years like a thief in the night. How do you reach for the railing, your balance unsure, and the stairs ahead of you feel more like a mountain than a path to the kitchen? These moments etch themselves into memory, not as isolated incidents, but as emotional imprints of physical decline. Now visualize something different. Your foot hitting the ground with intention, your legs strong and sure as you walk with confidence down your driveway, the morning light on your face and energy in your stride. Your muscles don't just move, respond quickly and precisely as if remembering their former vitality. That contrast between frailty and freedom is more than metaphor. It's how the brain anchors transformation. When we visualize strength returning, we begin to reinforce the neural pathways that support it. Imagine holding a pill in your hand, knowing it's not just a supplement, but a spark. Fuel for the very cells that allow you to bend, climb, and carry the grandchild who runs into your arms. Picture the fibers of your legs waking up, lit by new circulation, oxygen, and neurotransmitters firing with purpose. You look in the mirror and see more than age. You see resilience because you know that change isn't just happening to you, it's happening through you. And every visual cue, whether it's the clothes that start to fit differently, the chair you stand from without effort, or the new confidence in your gait, becomes a mental marker. A trigger for motivation and proof that progress is unfolding before your eyes. The brain encodes these images in the hippocampus, anchoring them with emotion and repetition, reinforcing the belief that strength isn't just a memory of youth, but a picture of your present reality. When the right nutrients meet deliberate action, the human brain is not fixed. It is constantly adapting, reshaping, and rewiring itself in response to what we do, what we think, and what we feed it. This remarkable quality, known as neuroplasticity, doesn't vanish with age. In fact, it remains active throughout life, offering an open invitation to transform both body and mind. When you introduce targeted nutrients that support cognitive and muscular health, like vitamin B12 for myelin repair, magnesium for synaptic flexibility, and vitamin D3 for neural receptor activation, you are literally giving your brain the raw materials to re-engineer how it functions. Every time you take a step with more strength, lift your foot with more control, or recover balance with more confidence, your brain registers that success and begins to reinforce those neural pathways. These small moments of improved movement send feedback to the motor cortex, basal ganglia, and cerebellum, which then refine and strengthen the circuits responsible for coordination, posture, and voluntary control. The more you repeat these actions, the stronger and more efficient those neural patterns become, creating a feedback loop that improves not only leg strength, but also mental clarity and emotional resilience. How do we? Neuroplasticity is the reason that someone who once struggled to stand up from a chair can, over time, climb stairs without holding the railing. It's the principle that allows balance to improve, gait to become smoother, and reaction time to sharpen, all because the brain is constantly recording, learning, and adjusting based on input. This means that every decision to nourish your body with the right vitamins, every moment of effort, every mental visualization strength is not just a passive hope for better health. It is an active engagement with the machinery of change, proof that no matter your age, the story of your body and brain is still being written.